Hello Aries, welcome to my channel and welcome to your November tarot forecast. I hope you guys are doing great. As always, we're going to be looking at your love life, your career space, and we'll get you guidance. Apologize for the cat in advance. We'll get you guidance from the universe on how to best navigate the energies of the month of November. At the end, I'll post some messages, honey. I'll post some messages from your person of interest to yourself. And of course, we will start with a quick oracle message. So I hope you guys are doing great, and let's get straight to the reading. These readings are for Sun, Moon, and Rising Aries. So if you're watching this for your sun sign, please check out videos for your other placements as well. Okay. Let's see, what does Aries need to know? If you're new, welcome to the channel, and there is a bunch of information in the description box on my content and services, and appreciate all your likes and comments. All right, so Aries, you've got Wizard of Awareness, number 3. Yeah, so I mean, honestly, awareness is the goal. I would say it's not even the beginning to healing, to learning, to understanding, to happiness. It's like a very big part of it, a very big chunk. So depends, of course, on what you do with it. But at the moment, this is like you're in that mode, in that zone where you're being shown certain details, certain perception and perspective that maybe you haven't been able to notice before. And it's very important. So I'm also hearing for some of you that you may be remembering certain experiences from your childhood that in the moment may seem insignificant, but they actually are. So stay with them. You can sit with them in meditation. You can ask your guides, your angels, what is the meaning? What is it? How does it connect to the present moment, right? But it's something that will bring the necessary awareness to you now. All right, that was a cat with a lot of hair. So now all of hair is on my face. Let's see what we have for you with tarot. We have Mercury retrograde coming up on the 9th of November. We have 11/11 portal coming up. Very important new moon in Scorpio towards end of November. I will be doing a special reading for Thanksgiving, of course. It's one of my favorite holidays. So for your love life and personal space, you have Ace of Pentacles, 8 of Swords, 4 of Wands. For anyone who's calling in their soulmate, like this is your time, baby. For your career space, Ace of Wands. Look at all these aces. I love it. 5 of Swords and 8 of Cups. And finally, the advice, we have 5 of Wands, Strengths. This is Leo energy. You could be dealing with a Leo. And 8 of Wands. So a couple of 8s, couple of 5s, actually 3 8s. The only one we're missing is 8 of Pentacles. Bottom of the deck, Justice. So, you know how sometimes it's like still in our society, we're at the point where it's all about doing. The more you put in the effort, the more you put in the hours, the better the outcome, or the faster, or whatever your goals are, right? Like you can get to them faster, but it doesn't always work that way. It's a very classical conservative approach, even in the school of philosophy in general, where quantity is supposed to turn into quality. But we know now in the modern day and age that it doesn't quite work that way. So if you feel urged either by yourself or by somebody else to like move faster, do better, and somehow accelerate what is happening naturally in your life, please take a moment to sit with it, to sleep on it, pay attention to what is coming up for you emotionally, because it's not really about that right now. It's more about how do you It's about paying attention to the details. It's about being this wizard of awareness. I was actually doing a card of the day reading today, and that's where we had details message. The minute details give you the larger picture, right? Sometimes that's exactly where you're supposed to pay attention. And definitely with this aces, there are great things that are happening, but it's not gonna happen just because you're pushing harder or putting in more hours. So speaking of your personal space and love life, we have Ace of Pentacles, Eight of Swords, Four of Wands. There's definitely an opportunity for a beautiful union, for connecting with someone who matters to you, who you see a big future with, whether it's a completely new person or you've been together for a while. This is like the next step plan and next step phase of the relationship, and it's definitely something that's happening in the physical. So it's not just like, oh, now we're gonna call each other boyfriend and girlfriend. No, it has some kind of physical aspect to it, meaning you're moving in together. You are gonna be showing up to like important official events as a couple, you know, as an item. Maybe you're announcing this on social media, and that will also mean something in terms of how you do, I don't know, your business, your communication with friends, how you spend your free time, right? Like there's some kind of practical lifestyle aspect behind it. There's definitely something that's bothering you here. For some of you, I'm hearing it's the inferiority complex and feeling like you wouldn't be able to handle it beautifully, properly, whatever that means for you. For others, it's you thinking, am I making the right choice? Because you had options, maybe you still have, right? And it's like this particular person seems more interested, passionate, and again, pushing you to move forward. And it's like, am I saying yes to that because I want this, or because they're pushing me and, you know, I don't want to make things difficult? It's of course up to you to figure out, and we'll continue with the advice, with everything else to give you more information. But remember that if you want to make this work, then it's important to look into this self-sabotaging part and find that peace and find that balance. Otherwise, it's going to keep building up resentment or disappointment or that doubt that will be ruining that experience for you, right? So that's another way of looking at it. And nobody says that it's like all or nothing, or, you know, this particular decision means that you're together forever. I don't know, maybe for you it does, but like it doesn't have to be that way, right? And if that seems like too big a step, maybe you can take the next step that would be an intermediary to that. Talk about that with your person too. For your career space, you have Ace of Wands, Five of Swords, and Eight of Cups. Very different energies. But what I would say is that right now it's important to reignite that spark of passion, of enthusiasm and wonder and curiosity in yourself. Again, that wizard of awareness. Remind yourself why you started this business or took this job to begin with. What excites you about it? You may be surprised, honestly. There's so many tests, by the way, if you don't know where to start or how to determine that. So many tests, both in general in terms of your motivation, what motivates you, and down to like specifically like why do people choose this kind of profession, what does it tell about them. You can also, as a side note, take some tests around your gifts and skills and interests and see whether your current occupation actually matches it, because there's definitely something here that where it feels untrue. It feels like, you know, that outfit doesn't suit you anymore. Whatever the job that you took now, it seems like it was like a dream. Like, why did I even agree to this? I don't know right now. I don't even remember anymore, right? So some difficult decision may be in order, but it's very important, regardless of whether you decide to stay or to leave, it's important to understand why. And leaving, by the way, doesn't necessarily have to be like literally leaving a job. It could be leaving a project, leaving a team, leaving certain aspects of process behind, certain practices behind, right? Certain type of persona behind, and stepping into a new, more exciting and enthusiastic version of yourself that will help you and definitely will help people on your team or your clients or whoever else you interact with as part of your work. And finally, the advice. We have 5 of Wands, Strengths, and 8 of Wands. It's about having the strength to speak the truth. It's about having the strength to have difficult conversations. And I know it sounds so ridiculous, especially after I mentioned Mercury retrograde. It's gonna last from 9th of November till essentially the end of November. And we're already in shadow period, and guess what? In December, we'll have a few weeks more of the shadow period. So it's not gonna be easy. It's not for the faint-hearted, right? But it's like, if not having a conversation keeps you stuck in dealing with people you don't want to deal with and tending to their needs rather than taking care of yourself, then you're essentially mistreating yourself in that scenario. And that doesn't need to last until whatever, December, January, whenever the stars align. It doesn't always have to be that way. We don't need to take astrology that seriously. But I would say though that during this time, if you do have the courage to go forward and have those conversations, whether it's on the personal or professional front, the payoff could be huge. And that's why you also become more confident and feel more strong about who you are and what you stand for, because you're able to speak the truth and get to results. Yes, you need to speak with compassion, respectfully, right? Explaining, not just manipulating. And I'm not judging anyone, we all do it, but it's important in this case to really dig deeper into why you are making a change or why you are expecting something else from that other person, for example, or why you are walking away, not just kind of like, I can't take this anymore, this is not for me. Go deeper, give this person more information, whether it's about you or about them, but it needs to come from a place of compassion, right? I like, especially when talking about relationships and what works, what doesn't work, to remind my clients and even myself sometimes, not very often, but sometimes, to not be judgmental of a person as a person, as their, at large, as their personality, but go into awareness of specifics, right? Specific events, specific behavior. Also, not to mention that people can change, right? So you don't want to label them with something like, I don't know, you're lazy, you're inattentive, you're this, you're that. Maybe your definition of attentive and their definition actually are very different. And that's what the conversation should be about, right? Another way to look at it is, have you shared your expectations, your likes and dislikes with them before? If you haven't, that could be a gap that needs to be talked about. Something to think about. But before I let you guys go, let's get some messages for Aries from their person of interest. Messages for Aries from their person. Okay, I've got 4 cards. I'm gonna take them. 2 of Wands, the Tower, Karma, and the Moon. Wow. So 2 of Wands was the first card, so that's the key card, and it has 3 major arcanas. So guess what? Your person is about to make some choices too, and they have a lot of cosmic powers pulling at them and trying for them to see what's really going on, right? And again, this is a collective read, so I can't really dive deeper to like what that means. It could mean so many different things, but we have the Karma is the judgment, actually. It's called Karma in this deck. Then we have the Tower moment, which is similar to that, and then we have the Moon. Actually, the Moon present in both of these cards, right? The new moon, the full moon. Pay attention to the moon time in this month. Well, we've just passed full moon in Taurus. We still have a new moon in Scorpio coming up. See if you can leverage the energy of the moon for you understanding, or maybe to get that clarity with your person, because they are definitely right now at the crossroads. And they're trying to decide how do they even make that next choice, whether it's with you or something in their own right. But it's definitely, they could feel that there's a lot at stake, even if they don't know it consciously. They feel like this choice somehow is really important. Like they need to do their best at making that choice. And if anything, being aware just as you are. So maybe you could share some tools of awareness, since you are the wizard of awareness. Aries, at least at this time, you can share some of those tools, some of those methods with them to support them in getting that clarity and understanding what they need to walk away from, because that old pattern, the old structure is not an option anymore. And what do they need to come into peace with, and how to move forward with it. This is going to be an emotional time. It could be full of anxiety and overwhelm. But I'm hearing that the person still feels like you are an important part of their life. Whether it's going to last for a long time or not, like, this is fateful. This is something that they see as very important, a very important aspect. And so they're trying to make a choice for this next phase that keeps everyone happy. But it doesn't feel like they will be able to do that. And like, they want to avoid confrontation, but I don't think it's avoidable in this case. So that's what they're busy with. That's what occupies them at this time. Okay, I hope this was useful, guys. Thank you so much for joining me today. Please don't forget to like the video and subscribe to my channel. And until next time.